You, less of me. No one wants to see me.
Oh shit.
We've got these mics, so the quality of the sound hopefully is a little bit better. Kieron just pinned that one.
The problem with my hand. I've got my hands behind my back.
You can tell it's a Sunday. There we go. How are we doing, Squire?
Good. I'm like, you hear my voice, it's Sunday and a con. That's basically it.
Yeah, we're in survival mode at this point.
We'll get through it.
Fair enough. Thought Bubble 2022, Kieron Gillen, thank you very much indeed for joining us. Just a couple of minute chat, of course, so we'll try and squeeze in as much as we can. And with you, that's going to prove very interesting. That's going to prove interesting, considering you've had one hell of a year.
Yeah.
Die has been going like gangbusters. That's going very nicely.
Like we wrapped it up, We're doing the big hardcover collection at the end. It's out. I'm expecting to get my copy any day soon.
Sure.
And we also did the role-playing game as well, which we took it to Kickstarter. My friends from Rowan Rook and Decord over there. And that's just about to go to the printers. We've got this beautiful book. We've got the print out there. People are very excited by it. So yeah, it's been it's our own little weird cult universe. So it feels the word cult is definitely the word there.
I mean, the thing about Die, while clearly it was a real passion project for yourself, and not only what Stephanie brought to the book as well. Absolutely glorious pages. It's almost like, for me, perhaps the book was the jumping off point. This is where your passion is really lying, creating this RPG for Die. Does that make sense?
I know what you're saying. There was definitely not all the way through the Die. I was thinking, what is the dog and what is the tail? And all the way through, because basically there were bits where the book was taking the lead, or the comic was taking the lead, and key plot beats appear in the other one first, and then folded back in. And it got to the point where basically the dog ate its own tail. It became like a dog Ouroboros, if you will. And I sort of think they're just ways of, because Die exists outside the game and the comic. It's like, you know how holograms work, the idea you got these 2 points and you see them both. That's it. If you get the game and the comic, you understand Die, which exists in a place between them.
But what I really love about the game as well is that it's really about the players, and the players absolutely define. I mean, that's always been the way with the RPG, but it's a quintessential part of the design of it, which is
it's an RPG. I mean, it's a bit RPG about RPG. It's me, so it's my nonsense. But like, it's very much the question underlying the whole thing is, why do we play games?
Sure.
So like, and every table will create their own reason why they're playing this game.
Yeah.
And at the end, literally the end of every game is the players arguing whether we're going to continue the game or we're going to stop the game.
Yeah.
And that's as meta as it gets. But of course, we're doing it at sword points, so it's a bit different, right? But yeah, it's so much like, I suppose that the energy you might be getting from the RPGs, I've never done it before.
Yeah.
And that's the kind of thing, as in anything I have never done before, you get me like an excitable teenager.
Yeah.
And it's been fun. It's really hard work.
I mean, you can tell you're very animated about it, and that's you can certainly see with what you talk about. Online when you talk about it. Certainly online when you talk about the project, absolutely. And very quickly then about Thought Bubble itself. We're talking day 2. Last year was a little bit more intense because it was everyone really excited to be back behind the tables and back at the show. So there's a real kind of almost manic energy, even though everyone was all masked up. This almost feels like, no, this is default, this is the show, this is us, this is Thought Bubble, this is how it works. How's it been for you this weekend? How's the energy been in the room?
It's good to be back. I mean, like, I missed last year.
Yes,
I had so my wife was like 7 months pregnant at the time, so it's like, no, I'm not gonna go to a con. But
so then you look at Cysperian and go, how the hell did you do that? What the hell are you thinking?
It's like, he's amazing. Yeah, it was like we were quite paranoid. So we were quite locked down all the way through lockdown.
Sure.
And come back, it's just nice to see people. That's the kind of, it's like Chris was saying, like, she went to the bar on Friday night and I took Iris and we're swapping like that. But like, just, it's so lovely to see people. And that's kind of it, even this, not even this, but including this, like, we'll stop and we'll talk about comics a bit.
Sure.
I'll meet some more people, we'll see new people who've never been to a show before and people I've known for years and just catch up. And that's what I like about comics. Okay, one of the things I like about comics, the medium, is that they're very, it's not like a high stage. It's like people are talking to people about why we love this medium. So yeah, Thought Bubble has also been the best articulation.
The way it was described was, I was speaking to someone, it's a real great way of refreshing the batteries. End of the year, the nights are closing in, you're perhaps feeling a little deflated about it, and then this comes along and kind of breaks things up again.
For me, I always try Thought Bubble as the end of the con season.
Yeah.
Like then you wrap up for Christmas.
Yeah, absolutely. Looking towards post Die, because that has definitely been the big project for the year.
Yeah.
You're wrapping it all up. what's next?
Like, it's really like between the RPG and Iris, and of course I also wrote the event for Marvel.
Indeed.
You know what I mean? Like, so there's a lot of things. They were so busy, I left no space to think about what I wanted to do next.
Yeah.
But that was the only thing that really kept me going. So I hit the end of my deadlines and everything. It's like, no, I've got very little writing at the moment. I've just got like Mortal X-Men for like the Marvel, and I'm doing an OGN I've mentioned, but that's only I've just started right now. What I'm really doing right now is sitting back and thinking, what do I actually want to do next? Which is nice. I'm just like taking a breath, spending more time with Iris, deciding. So like,
that's the thing.
I can.
You could do that now with the Ben.
Yeah, exactly.
Excellent. Actually, just to dive back into that, I completely forgot to talk about the.
It's been that kind of year,
the Marvel event. How was that received? Because it definitely felt for me, it was. I mean, it's definitely you with the framework of it, but it really felt like an ensemble creation, this one. There were so many stories and so many different ways that the characters were definitely, I mean, it was like the old Civil War days where people had real definite ideas about what both sides of the camps were talking, and you could definitely feel that energy perhaps when you were writing it, that you were trying to get that flip the side of both the coin.
For me, it was very important to write your characters, and this sounds like completely basic. Like people are often very downbeat about events, understandably so. But for me, I wanted to do an event that was just a good story. I know that sounds incredibly like banal, but it's like I want to write from the characters first. I want to like even like the bad guy, and there was very clearly, I think the characters were very clearly the bad guys. But why are they doing it? And just make it, just follow that through, and also do a story that's actually about something. I mean, the thing I get a lot of people.
I'm stunned that no one actually took the Eternals idea about that before, to be honest.
Like, honestly, that was fun. You know what I mean? Like, it's about like why are we alive and all these kind of like, it's proper Jim Starlin. I want to get my Jim Starlin on. That was my kind of hope, and people have responded to that. I think my favourite thing is like the people who've responded to the flight. I have these kind of, what are they called? Like the Greek chorus, the human characters who are just going around. I wanted to have a human eye on the apocalypse. And that kind of people respond to that, and a lot of it is the way a lot of people are feeling right now is, how bad a situation are we in as a species? And that's what it's about. It's like, in some way, Judgment Day is, okay, let's imagine the world ends tomorrow. How will we deal with it? And it's not going to end tomorrow, but it will end. What if we don't do something about it? And that's kind of what Judgment Day is about.
It was a big thing.
And you rarely get, this is unfair, people rarely think events are about anything. And he was like, no, this is me, heart on sleeve, this is a young father, and yet father of a new child. Not a young father.
You're a young man, sir. You are a young man.
But, you know what I mean, like genuinely like looking at the world and thinking about it, and that's kind of what people liked about it. And people didn't like about it for other reasons, because that's comics. But it's been fun to do, and never again.
Right, okay, because that was going to be the question to wrap things up then, because you're always one for the big story, you're always one for the epic. When's the next epic? Is it a case of, would you like to take a slightly more smaller, intimate story?
We are doing, it's not that intimate. We are doing, me, Si and Al are doing an event for a crossover early next year called Sins of Sinister.
Okay.
Which is like an actual future story in the Marvel Universe. And that's basically between our 3 books. They're renaming Immortal X-Men as the Immoral X-Men for the 4 issues.
Okay.
To give you an idea of the tone. So that's like, it's big, it's really big scale, but it's smaller scale, so it's just me, Al and Si doing it.
Nice.
So it's like 9 issues plus like an Alpha and Omega. Sure. So that's like fun to do, that's the next thing. We'll be talking about it later at the show.
You've got the X-Men panel to come.
Yeah.
You've got plenty of stuff to go on with the show, so tell you what, you want coffee, I'll let you enjoy the rest of Thorvald. Kieron, it's been a pleasure.
It's been a pleasure.
Thank you so much.
Folks.